You don't hear the explosion. You see it. A silent flash rips across the screen in front of you. Grainy satellite footage, time-stamped just 17 minutes ago. 1 second, there's a convoy snaking through the desert. Armored vehicles, escorts, maybe a high-ranking general in the lead SUV. The next? Gone. Vaporized. A facility nearby flattens into rubble, the kind of precise hit that leaves nothing but a smoking crater and lingering dust clouds. No build-up on the news feeds, no frantic evacuations, just execution, cold, surgical, American. The room freezes. Pyongyang's command bunker, deep underground, feels smaller than ever. Dim lights buzz faintly overhead, casting shadows on the concrete walls lined with screens and maps. The air smells like stale coffee and ozone from the overheating projectors. You glance toward him, Kim Jong-Un. I'm the Supreme Leader perched on the edge of his chair. He isn't blinking. Hasn't for the last 5 replays. Your leader leans forward, elbows grinding into his knees, eyes locked on the loop. Again, and again, and again. You already know what's churning in his mind. It's not if anymore, it's when. Your throat tightens. You've run these simulations in your head 1,000 times, but seeing it play out in real time, that's different. You clear your throat carefully. Timing matters here. Tone matters more. One wrong inflection, and you're the next ghost in the machine. Supreme Leader. This was not symbolic. He doesn't respond. That's expected. His silence is a weapon, sharper than any rebuke. You push on anyway, choosing each word like it could be your last, which, let's be real, it probably could. This was a message, crystal clear. Then they're telling the world, we can hit hard, hit fast, and hit clean. No mess for the headlines. Now he turns. Slowly. His face is stone, but his eyes, those dark, unreadable pools, betray the storm. And who? He asks, voice steady but laced with that North Korean chill. Was it meant for? You don't hesitate, can't afford to. Everyone, Russia, China, Syria, and us, especially us. You weren't always here, whispering in the ear of the man who stares down superpowers. Years back, you were just another analyst in the shadows, poring over numbers, reports, probabilities from a safe desk in some nondescript office. Satellite tracks, missile telemetry, and sanction impacts. Safe distance, safe conclusions. But loyalty and a knack for pattern breaking got you pulled into the epicenter. And now you're inside the regime the world spent decades trying to decode or dismantle. And today, April 1st, 2026, the rules just shattered. What you just watched wasn't diplomacy dressed up as tough talk, those endless summits and back-channel threats that buy time. Wasn't deterrence with a side of bluster like Reagan's evil empire flex or Trump's fire and fury tweets that echoed but never landed. No, this was a demonstration, a live fire proof of concept, raw and undeniable. The kind that steamrolls the UN Security Council's vetoes and resolutions, leaping straight to consequences etched in craters and ash. Your pulse races as you step closer to the scarred oak table, its surface gouged from years of clenched fists and frantic briefings. Fingers slick with sweat dance over the console, pulling a secondary feed. Sand thermal imaging from an RQ-180 Sentinel drone circling unseen at 70,000 feet. Residual heat blooms like a dying ember across the strike zone. Vivid oranges and reds pulsing where GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrators punched through 30 feet of reinforced concrete, forged in Iranian bunkers to defy anything short of nukes. Minimal collateral damage, you say, forcing your voice level despite the tremor in your gut. High-value target eliminated. Probably IRGC Commander Qasem Soleimani's successor. Convoy profile matches. Lead SUV with jammer tech. Escorts heavy on manpads. 0 boots on the ground. Just hypersonic munitions. ARRW from the USS Eisenhower in the Gulf. In and out in 90 seconds. Target's vitals flatlined before the dust settled. He nods slightly, almost imperceptibly, but enough to spike your adrenaline. He gets it, all right? This is warfare without friction, no messy supply lines, no anti-air flak storms, no warning salvos to scramble jets. Without the old-school invasion that had rallied the world, CNN loops of body bags, protests in Times Square. No Abrams rumbling over dunes, no carrier strike groups steaming into view for weeks, telegraphed on every radar. Just a quiet B-21 raider, our eternal ghost, slipping past S-400s from 40,000 feet, dropping precision death and vanishing into the night sky. And that terrifies him more than nukes or full invasions ever could. Because it's personal, surgical. His entire strategy, his survival model, has always hinged on one ironclad assumption: attacking him would cost too much blood and treasure. Make too many American coffins airlifted home to grieving families. Too many headlines screaming quagmire from Kabul to Baghdad Redux. Pyongyang's no desert outpost. It's a fortress bristling with 11,000 artillery tubes zeroed on Seoul's 10 million souls. Diesel subs lurking silent in the Yellow Sea. Chemical warheads stockpiled to drown the peninsula in sarin hell. But what if that calculus flipped overnight? What if the US could decapitate the leadership chain? Him in his bunker, you at this table, generals in theirs, with deniable precision strikes, leaving the regime headless and the world shrugging. You feel the shift ripple through the room. Not panic, no, Kim Jong-Un doesn't panic. Calculation, pure ruthless math. He stands now, pacing slowly, hands clasped behind his back. You've seen this ritual before. The measured steps, the furrowed brow. He's wargaming it all. Outcomes, responses, counter-responses, in that brilliant, paranoid mind of his. Tell me, he says, stopping mid-stride, why Iran? Why now? It's not just a question, it's your audition. Fail and you're out. You answer steadily. Because they believed they could dance in the grey zone, close enough to provoke. Drones on US bases, proxies hitting Saudi oil, nukes inching closer, but far enough to dodge the hammer. Hezbollah strikes, Houthi missiles, the works. They thought distance and proxies bought time. He stops dead, turns fully. And they were wrong. Yes, Supreme Leader, dead wrong. One strike and their nuclear programs set back years. No invasion needed. Message received, grey zones are gone. It's black and white now. Pause hangs heavy like the bunker's recycled air. And then he drifts to the screen, staring at the frozen frame of twisted metal and fire. And what makes us different? There it is, the moment. The knife edge where careers die or ascend. You don't sugarcoat. Can't. Nothing if they believe they can remove you without consequence. A drone strike on this very bunker, or a sniper's bullet during your next parade. Clean, quick, the world moves on. Silence crashes in, suffocating, but you push through, heart hammering. Everything. If they believe you're unpredictable enough, dangerous enough, that taking you out unleashes more chaos than leaving you be. Missiles raining on Guam unbidden. Cyber blackouts in LA. Allies like China forced to pick sides. This is the real game. Not raw power. North Korea's got nukes, sure, but so does everyone else at this table. It's perception. The illusion of madness. You glide to the console, summoning layers of data, US carrier positions in the Sea of Japan, satellite constellations over the DMZ, intercepted NSA chatter buzzing about contingency option north. They're watching, you say flatly. Every signal, every test launch, every fiery speech broadcast on KCNA, CIA models, RAND wargames. They've got supercomputers chewing through our playbook. He tilts his head, that trademark squint. And what do they see? You exhale slowly. A pattern. That word hits like a 155mm shell. Pattern equals predictability. Predictability equals a target-rich environment. You press on. Missile tests sync to party anniversaries, July 27th, April 15th, clockwork. Responses pegged to sanctions like that ICBM after the latest UN slap. Escalation ladders tied to pressure points. It's a rhythm they've mapped. His jaw tightens. He hates it. So they think they understand me. Yes, they've got AI algorithms predicting your next move, 85% accuracy on the last Hwasong 18 test. Books like The Hermit Kingdom's Playbook. Documentaries dissecting your smiles. Another beat of quiet. Then that smile creeps in. Not warm, not reassuring. The one that says wheels are turning. You've studied these pivots, drawing from history's grim rhymes. Gaddafi blinked in 2009, gave up his nukes, and got droned in a ditch 2 years later. Saddam danced too close, Invaded Kuwait on script and ended up in a spider hole. Leaders fall when patterns emerge. Regimes crumble when deterrence goes stale. And right now, Iran's smoking ruins scream, distance ain't protection anymore. Sovereignty's a joke. Time? Borrowed. He eases back into his seat, deliberate like a predator coiling. You believe they're preparing something. I believe they're keeping the option open. Truth hurts worse than lies. Uncertainty demands reaction now, eyes narrow to slits. And what would you have me do? The golden question. No perfect play, just trades in risk. You step up, change the equation, burn their models to the ground. He gestures, go on. Right now, they see a system they can game. Inputs of pressure, outputs of bluster. Cost-benefit sheets with our blood on the ledger. You flick to projections, branching trees of doom, war probabilities spiking, economic ripples to Beijing. Option 1. De-escalate, go quiet, parade fewer missiles, tone down the rhetoric, signal we're stable. No flinch from him. You know why. Lowers the heat short term, you add, but screams weakness, invites more sanctions, more no-fly zones creeping north. Option 2. Escalate hard, ramp tests, ICBMs over the Pacific weekly. Rhetoric to 11, sea of fire on loop. Force their hand. He leans in a fraction, restores the edge, and risks a stray missile lighting the fuse. Pause, then option 3. You hesitate. Just a beat, because this one's chess, not checkers. Redefine the battlefield entirely. Full attention now. His gaze pins you. Scrap patterns. No anniversaries, no tit for tat. Pure chaos clock. Shift to shadows, cyberops crippling US grids, remember that 2024 blackout scare, info warfare flooding X with deepfakes of Biden surrendering, proxies we don't even claim, hackers in Vladivostok, drones from nowhere. You zoom a map, not silos or subs, but fiber optic web server farms, undersea cables snaking from Busan to LA. Asymmetric. They bomb a site. We ghost their elections. They sanction. We spoof their GPS over the Pacific. Play a game they can't simulate. He absorbs it, unblinking. You're saying we quit their board? Yes. Onto ours, one they don't even see. Silence shifts. Not dread, but gears meshing. Consideration? You see the recalibration in his posture. This isn't brute force matching F-35s with Su-57s from Russia. It's a redefining force, the knife in the dark over the tank in the field. He rises, saunters to the narrow window slit, armoured glass overlooking a city that hums oblivious. Pyongyang's lights flicker on as dusk falls, citizens shuffling home under Juche portraits. Outside, nothing's changed. Inside, revolution. They think they can strike without blowback, he murmurs. You hold a position. He pivots. Then we make blowback a riddle. Pivot locked. You surge into action, console humming. Communications overhaul now. Ditch the cycles. Random bursts, coded signals. No patterns for voice of Korea. Military? Readiness spikes. Invisible. Disperse assets to caves, not bases. Embed escalation. Don't advertise. Nod. Intelligence? Feed the fog. Leaks hinting at everything and nothing. Nuke subs off Hawaii. Biological labs. Let their analysts chase ghosts. Momentum builds. Decisions cascading like dominoes toppling toward a new order. Survival here isn't steel or silos. It's the fog of the unknown. The one thing superpowers can't bomb. He circles back to the screen. Iran's strike looms eternal. A scar on the pixels. Reminder. Warning. Template waiting to repeat. They thought Iran contained, he says, voice steel. You step beside him. Wrong. His eyes meet yours. They think they read me. You hold steady. Time they learn the book's blank. The screen blacks out, but the signal pulses. Far off in Langley or the Pentagon, wonks scribble feverishly, modelling you. Predicting Kim, trying to box the unboxable. What do they miss? The box just broke. And you handed him the hammer. Fade to the Hermit Kingdom's silhouette against a blood-red dawn. What's next? Only the shadows know.